Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first release team meeting for the release cycle 1.26. Today is Wednesday, the 7th September. And yeah, this is a Kubernetes meeting, so it falls under the CNCF Code of Conduct, which can be summarized to be just excellent to each other. And starting with the open discussions. So yeah, hello everyone, welcome. I think that we are all returners, kind of, previously served on release team because we haven't selected yet the shadows. So thanks everyone for continuing to contribute to the release team and being part of these 1.26 cycle. I guess everybody is already familiar with the code of conduct. I just linked it here on the meeting notes. As a reminder. And right, last week we finalized the release 1.26 schedule. We are planning to release on the 6th December. So we should have 15 weeks. 1 week is KubeCon, so everything should be all right from a time perspective. And yeah, moving on to the next one. So if there are like any ideas already, feedback or problems, suggestions, which already came up or maybe will come up during the release, we created the 1.26 retrospective doc. You can add your ideas or feedback there, and we will discuss it in the first or second or third retro, which we will have this cycle. And yeah, moving on to Grace, you have one item.
Yeah, maybe I'll move this under enhancement since Ryler's not here. But essentially, the enhancement team has been shifting from the sheet over to the project board. And the past week, we've been working on the label and communicating that with the community and the SIG leads. But one thing that is not fleshed out, and I need Doc's help with, is what this will look like for the Docs team. So we were thinking to add a view, but like everything's not fleshed out. And in past releases, the Docs team have a page on the enhancement sheet. So would love to figure out like either now or a time later where we can kind of talk through what that looks like. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. PT, Ryler and I, and maybe Leo, will have a further discussion on this. The meeting link is in the release enhancement channel if you'd like to join.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I will quickly paste the link in the chat and also in the release meeting notes. So if anybody would like to join, I think tomorrow would be a good time to discuss further things. I guess besides that, the enhancement sheet shift is kind of communicated to everybody, to the community, and is, besides maybe some automation parts, done, I think, right? Or is there any like bigger tasks, Grace? What do you think?
No, yeah, the sheet will be triggered manually to run a script, and that's going to be run twice a day for now.
Okay.
But there's no outstanding task.
Okay, that's great. Right. So here's the link. And okay. Are there any other open discussion points? Otherwise, we can also have this at the end of the meeting. If not, we can move on to enhancements. So I guess we already had this update. Any other comments for enhancements, Grace?
No comments really. We just started enhancement collection. I don't think Ryler's here, so there's not much to update.
All right. Looks good. Sounds good. Moving on to CI Signal with Nivieta.
So yeah, so hello everyone. According for updates on the our test grid looks great, and other than this, I have selected my shadows, but I will try to reconsider my selection because of the feedback. So I will try to make my team more diverse, and I will notify them tomorrow by the end of the day. So yeah, and one thing I would like to ask, like, should I post the CI signal report for this week as well, or should I start by next week?
I guess you can already send out the report this week, if you like. But
yeah, okay, sounds good. Great. Okay, thank you.
It helps us when we're doing the release cut.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Then moving on to bug triage, Hossein.
Hello, everyone. The selection process is already started, so I'm going through the list, and I think by tomorrow midday should be posted in the channel. So yeah, I can get also feedback from you, folks. That's one thing. The other thing is what we discussed like shortly in bug triage channel in Slack with Leo about project board. So previous release, we also started to testing the project board for bug triage, and actually it worked nicely. So if there's no objection, again, I mean, there's nothing against it. I will continue using the same concept because it's nice. Regarding automation, we used to have manual script to pull the issues and PRs from GitHub. So that part will be still the same. I have to update the project board manually for the time being, but I will take the ownership of the topic, and I will try to put a cron job using GitHub pipelines so for the future. So, but this is what I will discuss also later with the team. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Awesome. Sounds great. I think that like last cycle there already been some work on the automation part, right? So is there, or is this completely new? No.
I started working on this, but it's not done. So
okay.
Next step would be totally automated and push it to the project board.
Nice. Pushing all tracking to GitHub project boards.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to docs. Caroline?
I have a question for bug triage. I saw the board to be private right now. Do we want to make it public? I was thinking that can make it easier for the chairs and TLs to discover the most like relevant bugs for them if they want to prioritize solving some of them.
Oh, definitely, Nabrun, I totally agree with you. I think this was done by the previous lead, just accessible for the team members. Absolutely, let's make it public, and it will be transparent to everyone.
Awesome. I'll do the visibility change.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good catch. Then any other questions, or otherwise let's go to docs.
Hi everyone. Well, I am in the shadow selections process. I think I will finish today. I think that's all in my status. I don't know if you have more questions that I can take notes.
No questions from my side.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Then for release notes, Rodolfo.
Hi everyone. I have selected the shadows for release notes team. I have not pulled or let them know yet, but I will do it soon. Also, this week I will start creating a presentation or some onboarding session to start giving the knowledge to my shadows. So I will be working on that.
Awesome. Are there any, by the way, are there any onboarding sessions recorded, or just in general? Because I remember for CI Signal, we had like some recordings, which we also use for onboarding. Would this also be something for release notes? Just curious.
There is no recording sessions on previous releases, I think, but I can start doing that in this cycle.
Okay. No pressure, just asking.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, we can move on to comms with Federico.
Hello. Well, we're fine at this stage. It would be hard not to be, but especially since comms is a bit top heavy in terms of schedule. But we're fine. I've done the shadow selection pretty much. I've shared with the rest of the team. I'm just starting to contact them today and tomorrow. So by the end of this week, I hope to have the team assembled. And we had some initial discussions also around the cadence of feature blogs release coming forward in the release comms channel. And I'm going to integrate that in the overall plan in the next week. So we're green.
Awesome. All right, then moving on to release branch management. Is Jeremy here, or somebody else wants to update? Otherwise, I think right now there's not much to do for release branch management. So it should be green, I guess. Any other comments? Otherwise, we can go to Navarun. Yay.
Sure. So we closed our shadow applications on September 2nd. We kept it open until anywhere on Earth time this time, just to give everyone a fair chance to fill in the application. At the end of it, we got 144 responses, of which 125 people are newcomers to the release team. They had never been part of the team. Maybe they have applied before. And we got 19 people who have already served on the release team and applied to be a shadow again. That's on the stat side. And the leads have been forwarded report of who has applied in both the types of applications, and they are currently selecting their shadows as we got updates from everyone previously. That's all on my side. I'll just wait for people to do selections, and then we'll start the shadow onboarding process.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Also, together with the shadow responses, we've been working on the release team shadow stats project to generate the PDF files for the lead selection, also some charts and diagrams for a report. And we are currently discussing with in a thread. I can link the issue about also publishing a report to the community. So this might also get sent out sometime this release, hopefully. All right, then moving on to my updates. The onboarding for the release team leads is done. So all the YAML files and everything has been updated. For all lead shadows, I think most already completed the CNCF inclusive speaker orientation training. If not, this is a good training, very short, also for anybody else who is interested. That would be great if you could comment or take this course. And also just a reminder for all the team leads, if you selected your shadows and so There's also under the SIG release team, the Markdown file, which just shows the entire team. So you can also update the team afterwards and also add your shadows to it. Right. And then also just a general comment that always communicate in public. I think this works really great, just as a reminder. And also don't hesitate to reach out. I think yeah, just some two less general comments, and that's it. I think I'm excited. I think the release will be great. We have great leads and great shadows coming in, I'm sure. And yeah, then there's an update from SIG Scalability. Looking at the attendees list, I cannot see Jakub, or is he here? Not sure. Otherwise, there's apparently a single flake test run, nothing serious, but there is a pending RCR for it. Maybe I will reach out to Jakub because I'm not 100% sure what this means. But apparently it's not serious, so it should be fine. So if there's like anything coming up, I will communicate that. Right. Then I added a few issues to the project board. So last cycle we didn't use the project board that much. Maybe this will change this release, or I will try to add the important issues to it. Maybe, for example, I think José said something about the bug triage automation part. Maybe we can just collect all the work in progress tasks here. So for example, there's the blog post, which we are working on, Grace is working on mainly. And also, for example, the onboarding for the leads, which is kind of done, and so on and so forth. So that's basically it. I think we are in a good shape right now. And yeah, any other comments before closing? I see Grace hand up.
Yeah, when you go to the project board in the backlog, at the very bottom of the backlog on the left-hand side, yeah, I just added a new issue for documentations for PR freeze risk. So I looked through when I was removing the word soft from PR soft freeze, and I realized that there wasn't really documentation on like what the freeze is about, what happens when you miss the freeze, and like kind of the risk of like getting your cap rejected, and also like if you miss the freeze, you can file an exception, etc. But I'm not sure where a good place to put that is, so interested for feedback here.
Any ideas? Otherwise, could this be something? So we are working already on the blog post. I mean, this is more on the documentation side, but could this also be added in the blog post if we like frame it a bit more, if we widen the frame kind of, or not?
I wouldn't say this is related to the project board migration at all.
Yeah, probably it wouldn't be a good idea.
I think this should be part of the Kubernetes community repo. Production readiness review is a sub-project under SIG architecture. And usually we have all dev-facing documentation in Kubernetes community, and that should like serve as source of truth. So we can explore like if there is any page. So I'm pretty sure like inside contributor/devel, there would be a SIG arch kind of directory where we can add this information. And we should ideally like consult with the PRR team and SIG arch folks as well to get a sign off on this.
Okay. Ray?
Yeah, so we also have a doc under SIG release/releases called release phases. It's a markdown file, which talks about the enhancements freeze, burn down, code freeze, test freeze, thaw, and even the feature blog freeze as well, and exceptions. And also docs as well. So we might we might want to add a section of PRR to the release phases, since now it's part of the timeline, and then we could go into add some more about the documentation for the risk of missing the PRR as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Let me put the link on the Zoom here. Okay.
All right.
Or it could be we could add a link from that release phases doc to the doc in K community under SIGARC. So that's so we could refer to that if you want to.
Awesome. Any other comments, closing comments for this first meeting? Otherwise, I will stop the recording.